Well, what do we have here? I'm Captain Barkel, and I'm here to introduce you to the basics of Army generalship. You have the money for the commission. Let's see if you've got the brains to go with it. A general needs to survey the battlefield to command his troops. This is a distant view, enabling you to see a lot of your army at once. If you want to zoom in to take a closer view, roll the mouse wheel forward, or just press and hold the page up key on your keyboard. Well, I'm glad that didn't prove too difficult. To zoom back out, simply roll the mouse wheel backwards, or press and hold the page down key on your keyboard. Good to see you've picked up the basics. You don't want to stare ahead all the time, so here's how to rotate the view. Press and hold the C button on your keyboard. Now, while holding the C button, move your mouse left or right. As you can see, the view rotates left or right horizontally according to the movement of your mouse. You make it look as easy as it actually is. Now practice the horizontal rotation for a while. Well, that's enough of that. That's horizontal rotation. But you can rotate the view freely. To do this, press and hold the left Alt on your keyboard first. Now move your mouse anywhere. As you'll see, the view rotates wherever you move the mouse. Try it out and see for yourself. Have you done this before? You seem like a natural. In the heat of battle, you'll be zooming and rotating the view like there's no tomorrow. However, in some dangerous situations, it's very important that you set the view back to its default position. To set your view to its default position, just press the space bar on your keyboard. Have a go now. Praise be to Sigmar! Now, zoom and rotate the view again, and then go back to the default position. You learn quickly. That's good to see. You don't want to just look around. So, now we'll see how you move on the battlefield. Move your mouse cursor to one of the edges of the screen. There's also a different way to change the view. If you press and hold the mouse wheel or the N key on your keyboard, you can pan the view. Now move your mouse in any direction. You'll get a medal from the Emperor, to be sure. As you can see, the battlefield moves below you as if you grabbed and pulled it by the mouse cursor. Well, since you've mastered that, I'll let you in on a third way to move the view above the battlefield. But don't tell anyone else. At the lower left corner of your screen, there's an overview map called the mini-map. Here, you can see the top view of the whole battlefield. The white triangle shows your camera position. Now, move your mouse cursor to the red circle on the mini-map and click the left mouse button. There's no stopping you, is there? The camera jumped to this new location. Why don't you try it again? You've learned how to manipulate your view of the battlefield so far. However, you're going to actually have to command your army to win battles. So, let's take a look at that. You can see a small force in the middle of the military camp. The Count thinks a lot of you and has given you some of his soldiers to command. Lucky you. There are no individual soldiers on the battlefield. Every soldier is part of a group called a unit. Now, here you have a swordsman unit, which is a basic melee unit, and next to them is a handgunners unit, which is a basic ranged unit in the Empire Army. To get the attention of the swordsman unit, just click with the left mouse button on either the soldiers, the unit banner above them, or the unit card on the user interface at the bottom of the screen.
Yours is just, my lord. We stand
Now
ready to
they're ready
fight.
to be ordered about. I'll show you how you can move them around.
On to victory! Get
Move the
moving,
mouse
you
cursor to
lady.
the red circle on the battlefield and press the right mouse button.
Men of the Empire, advance! Forward,
As easy as that. Now the swordsman will move to where you've clicked. They're an obedient lot. Let's try it again, just to be sure. Move the cursor to the red circle and press the right mouse button again.
Form up in advance!
Yes, you've definitely got this mastered. Victory will be yours. One way to select multiple units is the selection rectangle. Move your cursor anywhere on the battlefield, then press and hold the left mouse button and start to move the mouse.
What are your orders, my lord?
Well, you seem to have got that. Now you're drawing a green rectangle. Try to surround the swordsman and the handgunners with the rectangle and then release the mouse button. If you surrounded them completely, both units will be selected.
We shall prevail. March on!
Well done. The Count will be most happy.
Men, move up! Men of the Empire!
Most of your units will move in formations. They form a square-like shape that helps them fight together and makes it harder for the enemy to harm them. However, moving in formation takes extra time, and in addition, the units that move in formation are more vulnerable from the back. So it's very important that you make sure you have them facing the right way. Never show your back to the enemy.
Ready and willing.
For the most efficient use of your troops, you need to combine movement and facing change. Move your mouse cursor to the red circle. Then press and hold the right mouse button.
Yours to command. Step lively there!
Good. Well, you can see that after a short while, the green arrow appears below the mouse cursor. If you release the button, the unit moves to the target location and faces in the direction you selected.
Send the enemy!
Well, the art of war is no mystery to you, is it? You don't have to wait for the green arrow to appear. There is a faster way to set your units facing at the target location. And here's how. Move your cursor to the red circle. Next, press and hold the right mouse button and move your mouse quickly in the desired direction.
March! Advance at my command!
That's the style. As you can see, the green arrow appears immediately and points in the direction of the mouse cursor. Now simply release the right mouse button to move your unit into position.
Onwards, brave lads!
You have the precision of a marksman, no mistake. Today we learn the basics of the view controls and some simple unit commands. Now, you can stay and drill the men, or you're free to go back to your chambers and rest.
Let none bar
Meet
our
me here
path.
tomorrow morning, first thing, and we'll get into the really exciting stuff. Fighting.
Let none bar our path.
Well, glad to see you up bright and early. Today, I'll continue with your lessons on the fundamentals of battle. Before a battle begins in earnest, the game is paused and you can deploy your units. However, you can't just put them wherever you like, only in an area called the deployment zone. It is marked out by small flags. Now, there are your two units from yesterday, the swordsman and the handgunner units. Let's see how you can move them within the deployment zone. First, order the swordsman by clicking on them.
Let none bar our path.
That's right. Now, move your cursor over the red circle and press the right mouse button.
Step out smartly, lads.
All good. Now the swordsmen are moved to the new location immediately. During the deployment phase, you can rotate your units in the same way you did yesterday. Now that you've learned how to deploy your army, let's move on. Click on the End Deployment Phase button at the top of the screen to finish your deployment. Now select your swordsman unit again.
Sigma, grant us victory!
When a unit is selected, you can see its command buttons at the lower right corner of the screen. This is the command panel. Now we'll learn the basic commands. The upper left button on the command panel is the stop. If the selected unit is moving and you click on the stop button, the unit stops immediately. Select the swordsman and practice the stop command.
Sigma! We shall
That's
not
it.
fail.
You've got the hang of that.
Step out smartly,
Now
lads!
let's move on to ordering your units to run. The upper right button on the command panel switches between walk and run. Unless you've told them to run, a unit will walk. However, if you click on the run button, they will run when you order them to move. Why don't you try it on the swordsman? Select them, switch the button to run, and then send them to the red circle.
Advance!
The distance a unit can travel depends on the stamina of the unit. The stamina is shown below the unit card. All right, let's look at some of the formations units can adopt. On the bottom of the command panel, you can find the 2 formation buttons. With the left button, you can change the unit's formation from line to column and vice versa. In column formation, the units can march faster and move through terrain more efficiently, but it is not great for fighting. In line formation, the unit charges and fights more effectively, but is harder to move around. Now, select one of your units and order them to change formation a few times.
Right, Sigma! Ready? Reform!
That's line and column, but there's also open and loose formation, too.
Sigma!
With the
grant us
right-hand
victory!
formation button, you can switch the unit between tight and loose formation. In tight formation, the unit will charge and fight faster. While in loose formation, area spells and siege weapons used by the enemy are less effective against them. Now, select one of your units and try the loose and tight formations.
Lock shields! Form
You've
skirmish
mastered formation changes. Well done.
Shoulder to
Well, that's
shoulder,
enough
lad.
about moving your units around. You want to know how they fight, don't you? We'll leave the camp now. The forests in these remote lands are infested with all manner of vile creatures. But a well-trained fighting force such as yours should be safe.
Faithful shall prosper.
Select your swordsmen and move them to the red circle outside the military camp.
Smartly, lads! We shall prevail! Men of the
Right,
Empire!
there's some goblins. These evil greenskins are well known for their cruelty and cowardice. I think they'll be a perfect test for your command skills.
We await your
Select
command.
the swordsman, and then move the cursor above the goblins. As you can see, the cursor changes, representing that it is over an enemy you can attack. Now press the right mouse button on the goblins.
Attack
That's the
the
spirit.
foe!
Now your swordsman will attack the goblins. You can see that when your swordsmen are close enough, they charge. It's important that you charge first if you can, as charge impacts the foe and causes more damage to them.
The army of the Emperor is under
Your
attack!
swordsmen greatly outnumber the goblins, and they don't like getting cut down, so the little bastards' morale starts to drop. You can see their morale on their unit banner above them, and also below their unit card on the user interface. It's a light gray line that drops if the unit is being attacked. Low enemy morale is good, but it is crucial that your units don't lose too much morale. Troops with poor morale fight less effectively.
Sigma wills it! March on! Advance in good order! March on! The army of the Emperor is under attack!
Now the goblins have lost all of their morale, and they've been well and truly beaten. Now they turn tail and run for it. Your swordsmen won't pursue them. That's because they're in their default stand ground stance. If you want to change their stance, just click on the stand ground button on the command panel.
Give them cold steel! Look sharp! Draw a weapon!
Good. Now the swordsmen are in charge at will stance. If a unit is in the charge at will stance, they'll automatically pursue fleeing enemies, and they'll attack on their own initiative if an enemy is near them or if they're shot at by enemy units. Your swordsmen are a melee unit, like most of the units you'll command. They have to move close to an enemy to fight them. However, there are ranged units that can fire from a long distance, like your handgunners. You should be looking forward to this. You need to select the handgunner and jump the view to them by double-clicking on their unit card.
Loaded and
See
eager,
how
my
quick
lord.
that was? Well done. As I said, ranged units can fight from a long distance. You can see the shooting range of a unit if you select the Show Range button on the left side of the minimap. Now you can see a green circle around your handgunner. This is their shooting range. Quite a distance, isn't it? If the target is within this range, the handgunners can attack them without moving. Now let's practice your shooting skills. Select your handgunners and move the cursor over the barrels in the red circle.
Ready? Fire! Full volley!
As you can see, the cursor changes to a bow, representing that the object it's over is within the range of the handgunners and can be shot at. Now, click on the barrels with the right mouse button to get your handgunners to loose off a few rounds.
Apart! Give them a storm of lead!
Spectacular! Their aim is perfect. Today, you learn the basics of the melee and the ranged fight. Now, you can stay and practice these skills with your units, or go back to your room and rest up for a long day tomorrow. Come back here after breakfast, and we'll continue with your lessons.
Praise Sigmar! Victory is yours!
Sleep well, Commander? This is our last day together, and the most important one if you want to stay alive long enough to make a difference. Today, I'll teach you how to command heroes and units together, and how to duel with challengers. Here we have your swordsman, and we're lucky enough to have been joined by Lucius Thyrandus, one of the new battle wizards they're teaching in Altdorf. But enough introductions. Let's start the lesson. Heroes, such as Lucius and yourself, are individual characters whose fighting skill elevates them far above the ordinary troops. They're very dangerous, even if they're alone. But sometimes they're even more effective if they fight together with a unit of ordinary soldiers. Get the attention of Lucius. Well, it seems he's in a good mood. Now, in the lower right corner of the command panel, you'll see the Attach Hero button. Press the button. Then move the cursor above the swordsman and press the left mouse button on them.
Do not be afraid. I can control my powers.
Very nicely done. Now you've asked Lucius to join the swordsman unit. From now on, they'll all move and fight together. It's time to leave the camp again, so keep your sword handy. I hope that we'll be as lucky as yesterday and find some weaker foes. Select your swordsmen and move them to the red circle outside the camp.
Lord Teclis has taught me the art of fire.
Well, this is easy for you now, isn't it? As you can see, Lucius moves together with the swordsman, just like I said.
The foe have been spotted.
Sigmar's blessings, it seems that this small clearing behind the trees is a meeting point for the Greenskins. Now, there are some night goblins around that campfire. They are more dangerous than normal goblins. They fight more ferociously, and their weapons are often poisoned with strange fungal juices. Swords alone might not be enough today. As luck would have it, Lucius has a spell or two up his sleeve that will help you. On the wizard's command panel, you can see the icon of a fireball spell. Click on it with the left mouse button. This will be entertaining. See how the cursor's changed to a crosshair? Now, move it above the goblins and press the left mouse button on them to give them a good roasting.
My anger fans the flames of
Fantastic.
your...
I love these bright wizards. They're so explosive. Watch out, though. You've attracted the night goblins' attention, and they'll attack you.
I come
Now
from
that the night
colleges.
goblins are attacking, it's time to use some protective spells. Bright wizards know some very effective battle spells. One of them is the Flaming Shield of Andor. It's a magical fire shield that protects the wizard and his unit for a while.
Down to the flame.
Click on the icon of the Flaming Shield of Andor now. See, that wasn't hard, was it? The wizard and his unit are now protected while the spell is cast. Unfortunately, spells are not cast from thin air as much as it might seem that way. At the top of the screen, you can see a blue bar. This is the Army Power Pool, showing how much magical energy the Army has gleaned from the winds of magic. Every spell cast, and even the skills used by heroes, cost power. If a hero casts too many spells, the others won't be able to cast theirs. The Army Power Pool refills over time as the winds of magic blow softer or stronger. But this process is slow, so you must use your spells and skills sparingly and wisely.
The army of the Emperor is under attack.
Thanks to the magic of Lucius, you've annihilated those pesky night goblins.
Wind of
After
action
defeating the night goblins, your wizard gained experience, and now has enough to increase his powers. You can see this because his level has increased. If a hero increases his level, his attributes get better, and he can learn new skills and spells. To choose new spells for Lucius, select the wizard and click on the small shield in the upper left corner of his portrait. This will open up his skill tree window. That's the one. Here, you can spend the available skill points he's earned to learn new skills or to improve existing ones. There are 3 sections. The left one contains skills and spells that make a hero a more dangerous fighter. The middle one contains the dual skills and spells used in single combat with enemy heroes. The right-hand one contains skills and spells that make the army, and especially the hero's unit, more effective on the battlefield. Click on one of the available skills with the left mouse button to spend a skill point. Lucius looks pleased with your choice. Now spend the remaining skill points. Good. Now that you've spent all of the remaining skill points, close the skill tree window by clicking on the Close button. I know from reports I received last night that the goblins stole some treasure. Luckily, the cowards dropped it when you beat them. Look closely. You can see it on the ground over there. I'm sure you'll want to grab that loot. So, select your wizard and then click on the treasure with the right mouse button.
What can the fire college
Watch him
do for
go
you?
for that gold. Your wizard has picked up the goblin's treasure. It's a healing potion they took from the apothecary. Its icon has appeared on the user interface. So now let's use it. click with the left mouse button on the icon of the healing potion. So it's selected now, and you can activate the item. It's healed the wizard, and because it can only be used once, its icon has disappeared. Lucius is looking more perky now, though. Your heroes can have many items. If you want to see or edit them, you'll have to open his character window. Its button can be found on the user interface, below the selected hero's portrait. Yes, that's the one. And now you've opened the character window of your wizard. The upper part of the window contains the statistics of the hero. Below it, you can see the items he uses, split across 8 slots. Move your cursor above them to see their details. Below the active items, the hero's bag can be found. If there's no free slot for an item, it can be put into the bag. Later, it can be sold in a city or placed in a slot that becomes empty, so you don't have to throw it away. Well, that's your command skills polished. But what about your fighting skills, huh? Time to duel! If 2 enemy heroes meet on the battlefield, they can challenge each other. In this case, they'll clash in a heroic duel. During a duel, nobody and nothing can harm them except the hero they fight with. Captain Vandergaard and Commander Kreese will help me show you the basics of dueling. They will imitate a fight for you. First of all is the challenge itself. Select Captain Vandergaard. He's listening to you. Now a special effect appears around him. It shows that an enemy hero is near him. In addition, you can see the captain's icon on the screen above the command panel. Next to the captain's icon, there's a smaller icon, which shows the enemy hero. To challenge the enemy hero, just click on his small icon with the left mouse button. The gods have granted this day. That's it. Now the captain starts to approach the enemy hero. And when they meet, a bright effect, which we call the duel circle, appears around them. From that moment, they can't be attacked or harmed by enemies outside the circle. It's an honor thing, I'm told. Now the duel begins. The buttons on the captain's command panel have been changed. Now you can see the duel buttons here. On the top of the command panel, the 3 buttons from the left are the general duel skills. You can use them anytime. They don't cost power. Click on one of them now. Good. As you can see, if you activate a general duel skill, all the 3 general duel skills are given a cool-down time. During this time, you can't use them. Next to them is the flee button. If you think your hero is losing and want to save him, you can click on this button to force him to flee from the duel. Be careful with this, however. Your men don't like to see their leaders running from a fight, and this unseemly act will reduce their morale. These 4 buttons on the top of the command panel are the same for all heroes. In the middle of the command panel, the unique duel skills can be found. They're different for each hero. Unlike the general skills, unique skills cost power to empty, so you must use them carefully. The different heroes have different duel spells and skills, so it's impossible to show you all of them. It's up to you to study and learn the skills of the heroes in your army, so the learning doesn't finish when you leave here. Well, you've managed to complete the training, pretty quickly, I might add. It was just a short series of lessons, but you're ready to begin the fight against the evil of this world. As you battle for the Emperor, you'll meet powerful enemies, find ancient magic items, and build huge armies. Just remember the basics you've learned over the last 3 days and keep an open mind. And you'll become a great general. That said, if any time you have questions or want to know more, check your sacred text. The one called the User's Manual. Fight well, and may Sigmar guide your steps.